And we're recording right now. You already know what time it is. YouTube, say hi to Twitch. Twitch, say hi to YouTube. It's recap number 2. This is round 2, my last tournament, Charlotte. And this game is actually called Playing with Fire. This one called Playing with Fire. Let me tell you why. Okay, first off, so I'm playing Teddy Wynn, National Master, but very strong. FIDE rating is over 2250, something like that. It's strong. He's a strong player, right? So D4, Knight F6. He goes C4. And then I go G6. He goes Knight C3. E4 and then, or sorry, Bishop G7 and then E4 and D6. Now here is the problem right now. There's a problem. There is a real problem. Now KID is Pog, absolutely, and of course we got tons of videos on King's Indian defense. But right now, this is King's Indian right now, especially when working with my coach. It's very risky, and it's very risky for chances for both sides. It's also I get studied for a lot because I play King's Indian. And also, it's a very hard opening to play as you get stronger because you are giving up the entire center. Even where you'll see, I mean, even lower rated players will be able to beat stronger players, right? Which happens. Well, from both sides here, but I knew I wasn't supposed to actually play this. And, you know, I just wanted to. I really just wanted to. So, again, I'm playing with fire. Let's see the rest of the game now. Here we go, right? So, after D6, he goes Knight F3, castles, Bishop E2, E5, right? And then D5, and this is the Petrosian variation, right? So the Petrosian variation is a more positional, a very positional line. And after the D5, I go A5, right? Which is a theory that I remember and I've studied. I've played this many times, but he goes Bishop G5 and then H6. And let me tell you what happens here, right? He goes Bishop H4, Knight H6. This is all theory, by the way. That's why we're blitzing through this. Knight D2. Bishop D7. This is all theory, right? We want to put the knight on C5. C6 is sometimes a thing. C5, A4, right? Black castles, and then I go knight C5. And right here, B3 happens. Does anyone in the chat know what is going on right now? Has anyone ever seen this position before with the black pieces? I was just studying this. Knight takes C4, queen sack, okay? From late night blitz. What up, Donos? Knight takes C4, bishop takes D8, knight takes C3, knight is stuck. Tacky does. Yes, I think. Okay. Knight is stuck. Yeah, has anyone seen this position before? It is black to move, in fact. What do you think you do in this position? Black to move, what do you think you do? I remember looking at this too, like hours before this game. Design C3. I'll open up G5. All right, so here it is. The horse has no 9. Thanks for the follow. So check this out, chat. This is game 2. This is game 2, MD9. So here, Kasparov has had this position. Perugia has played here, and some other players, right? Now, what I'm supposed to play, believe it or not, chat. Believe it or not, watch this. Kasparov played this back in the 90s. Knight takes E4. Oh my goodness. The queen's hanging! Well, your queen is hanging! What are you doing? Your queen is hanging. Knight takes C4 is what I'm supposed to do. But the problem here, right, is I am sacking my queen, and this is more of an equal position. After getting this, and I knew that this was the line. Bishop takes, we go knight takes C3. You attack the queen, queen E1. Kasparov played this against Kramnik in a blitz game, actually, back in the 90s. And then knight takes E2. Actually, sorry, not knight takes E2 is the wrong line. You're supposed to take this first. Perugia and them, I think, took with the A rook, but they also take with the F rook. A rook is just better based off the engine line. And this is the line you get. This is what we get. And we get F5, we get E4, and you get the knight. Sometimes you even take on E2. But I remember over the board, I was like, well, you know, I had to think about a few things. All of the games that this happened in were blitz games. So me playing a classical game here, I was like, I mean, we got so much more time to think. I was not a fan of doing this. Right, you don't get no queen. No, exactly. We're not getting rooks. Like, we just sacked the queen for, like, 2 pieces and a pawn, right? Like, that's what you did here. Like, really is strange. But it is actually playable, and it's still equal for white. But, exactly, no thanks. It's a no for me, dog. Exactly, it was a no for me, too. Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm not about to do this. It was a no for me, too. I didn't want to really go for this in longer time controls. In faster, maybe, but not here in a time where 90 minutes per side with 30-second increment. So I'm not a fan of this. So this is why I didn't go for this, even though I knew I was calculating this. And I'm like, I can play it. But based off of the situation, and eval says equal, actually. Or I'm not equal, it's like 0.6, which is basically equal, right? 0.5, 0.6, you know, that's literally nothing, and especially in human chess. So, you know, knight takes e4 is the move. I didn't play it, so I went queen e8, and I opted out because I'm like, I'm not about to go for this, man. I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to play queen e8. I already am not supposed to be playing King's Indian anyway because, like, people prep for me more, and also KID is tougher to play, right? So, now, all right, after queen e8 chat, y'all can get Chris Chin there. You already know y'all can hook up Chris Chin there. Hook him up. Queen e8, and then after a3, right? So after a3, there's b4, which I knew this was going to come, and then I go knight h7. Which, of course, right now is getting a little weird. Knight h7. And then knight h7, queen c2. He goes queen c2. I go f5. And because I didn't go for this, watch this. After f5, right, f3. And here I'm already kind of in trouble. Bruh. The engine says I should take on e4 with the pawn. I should take on e4 with the pawn. Like, you don't play the King's Indian to take on e4 with the pawn. So I go g5, and I'm like, well, we about to just go for it. Either it works or it don't. Because I wasn't supposed to be even playing this anyway. Playing with fire, right, is the name of this. And then I play f4, and I'm just like, I don't even care at this point. Look, I mean, I just need to push. Because this is what this is about. I try to calculate some things where b4 happened. Right now, believe it or not, bro, it's already +3. Like, believe it or not, already +3. The engine's like, you're lost. You're down a piece. Because of just how he can push everything back. b4, knight a6, rook b1, pawn takes, I go h5. Because I'm like, there's literally nothing else I can do. He goes c5, I go g4, right? Because I'm like, I have to go for it. He goes c6, attacking everything, right? I could take or play bishop c8, and it seems fine, but after takes, I can't take a second time because of b5. Right, so his queenside attack, which a lot of times in the King's Indian and certain variations, is problematic because you do have to face the queenside, which a lot of times it seems faster. White seems much faster in the queenside race than in the king side with the King's Indian. It's very important that you understand this, and you need to be quick on the king side, or else when they get this over, like it's literally over. Bishop e6, now right now it's +2. But it's very bad. b5, I have to go like knight c5. I could go knight b8, but I mean, look at this. Like, look at the knight there. Like, that's not even a piece. So knight c5 takes. He gets rid of it. Then he plays a beautiful move, which is bishop c4, getting rid of the bishop. And then he's going to probably trade next. And if we go to an endgame, I'm just completely lost. So I move the king to h8 because I'm like, I'm not about to like trade no queens. He takes. Sorry, king h8 takes. And he goes knight d5. Now he's attacking c7. b6 is coming. I mean, this is just, I have no attack. I have to go g3, wait for h3, play knight g5, take and sack, and then queen takes, all before his attack happens, right? So it's too fast, and it's not going to work. So I go rook f7 to defend. He goes with the b6 option, which I thought he would play. b6, I take. It's getting all crazy here. B takes c7, which he's threatening rook b8. And I was supposed to sack the exchange, but I'm not about to sack the exchange. I'm already losing. I'm trying to make this as complicated as possible. So I'll play knight f6 and try to get this piece here, and he misses a combination, which I see. I knew the combination was there, but he missed it. Rook b8, rook f8, rook b6, and then he misses. There was a combination with queening. In fact, actually, after rook b8, rook here, you could just c8 queen in many cases. You could also go knight e7, but c8 queen is pretty nuts, And then after rook takes, you can play knight e7 in many cases, or rook take. But I was gonna take both the rooks. I was actually gonna. This, I'm like, you know what, bro? I'm just going to take both these rooks, and we're going to go for this. This is going to be my idea here. But he played here. He played rook b8. I go rook f8. He goes rook back to b6. I go here, and he takes. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'm still in the game somehow. So let's make a few moves. G takes f3 with the idea of making stuff very scary for him. If rook takes, I may have some back rank problems. He takes with the knight, and he allows knight takes e4. But this is still bad. Like, even when I won this pawn, queen c6 is just game over. Queen g4. I'm threatening rook a2. I'm still fighting. I am fighting for my life here. He goes queen takes a8, right? Look at this move, bro. I knew this was a move, too. He was going to go for this. That's why I went queen g4, because if not, then obviously, you know, I'm losing all the way. But queen g4, I have some chances with rook a2. And I calculated this line. So he takes the rook. I take back. He goes rook b8. And then he takes 2 for the queen, and he's going to queen next, but I have knight d6. So look how crazy this is, right? Knight d6, playable. So now I can take on c8. He goes h3. I go queen g3 because I'm going to play e4 and check next. Like, I have an idea. Like, I had everything here. Like, watch this. Rook d8, I go for it. e4, and I'm thinking I had it. After rook takes d6, takes, and I thought I had a perpetual here. After check, king here, I was going to play bishop d4. But the problem with bishop d4 is that he can play knight f6 check and I lose. And I calculated all of this and we got this far and I'm like, dang, I forgot he could play knight f6 check. And it's like game over. I mean, it was already losing anyway, but it was tough. Wasn't queen c8 instead of king 8 h7 playable? Well, queen c8 is playable, but the fact that if you go back here, the reason for king h8 is because in a King's Indian, you rarely, I mean, I can count on one hand how many times you're actually trading the queens and going into an endgame, right? So after bishop c4, when you play queen c8, bishop takes, I mean, it's the same thing as being the queen on e8, and I go queen b3, and literally, I'm just going to eat you alive in the endgame. This pawn's terrible. These are terrible. You're literally going to lose immediately, right? Immediately. So, right. Immediately. So after king h7, though, queen c7. Yeah. Oh, you mean knight h7, maybe? Knight h7? Yeah, I think we played, oh, wait. Sorry. It says some king h8. Wait, where? King h7 didn't happen anywhere else. Let me see. Here. Oh, yeah. Queen c8 right here. See me right here. After queen c8, yeah, queen c8 is just losing after rook b1. And then he's just like, what do you do next, right? After you even move the king, rook takes, and then rook takes. It's really stupid. It's really stupid, right? Like, why did I go for this? Why did I go for this? Oh, man. Why did I go for this? Interesting. Oh, you timed him out? No, I'm just gonna let's just take care of it right here. Hold on. Yeah, type it all in here. I got it. I got you. I got y'all. Here we go. Yeah, we just get rid of it. Like, you know, you had your shot. Okay, so it takes knight d6, h3, queen g3. Takes, check, and I go. Well, this was already game over. Here, after king h2, bishop d4 does not work again because knight f6, check. It's game over. So here I just make a move because like there's nothing I can do. I just play queen c1, and he does find the best move. I mean, all he has to do is block the file, which he does, rook c3. And if I take it, then he queens, and that's game over. How was the time control for both of you? You play faster and you feel like you can lose position early? No, I mean, it's just the same. I mean, you should be very, very well versed with your time, but in theory, in the beginning, you should also move fast because if you know your theory, then you know your stuff. But if you don't know it, then you need to use your time every move, right? And that's what I was doing up until a certain point. Then I started to think a little bit here and there, but I have it on my score sheet. I always write my score sheet, my time down, so I can give it to my coach later. But this was playing with fire, right? So I lose the game actually in the end after rook to c3. I just lose, and I'm like, you know, first things first was the opening choice. I mean, my opponent knew I was going to play King's Indian. I wanted to play it anyway, and I knew what line he was going to play, and I just wanted to play it anyway, right? So I didn't want to. I mean, I was just played with fire here, and you get burned, right? So it was not what I wanted at all, and I was supposed to go for this line, right? Which I chose not to do it. After even looking at it, I chose a line here with knight takes e4. I'm supposed to do this and sack the queen in a classical game where, I mean, the compensation is there. Yes, you have a big center in the pieces, but it works better in blitz games than it does in classical chess. So I shouldn't even went for this line in the first place. But so I had to like deviate and play queen e8 and then do some other stuff in knight h7. So it's pretty tough, but yeah, of course we learn from it and then you get better every time, right? So this is round 2. Make sure y'all look out for round 3. We'll see you on the next video.